Today is all about swatching. I have my Spellbinders cardstock out. I have my swatch ring from Spellbinders. I have my energy drink, so I am ready to go. And I have some pieces all die cut out. I have my mess of a craft space, my cardstock, and I'm ready to go. So, little behind the scenes. I'm going to get to crafting. See you in a bit, friends. Now, I had already gone ahead and I trimmed out some of the colors of cardstock. So I'm mainly working with the reds and the pinks right now. I trimmed them out. So I started with a piece of a 4¼ by 5½ inch card front. And then I trimmed this down even further. So it will measure 2½ by 4¼ and that is going to fit this die perfectly. Now, normally, let me grab my swatches real quick. I use an infinity tag die from Hero Art, and then I do a little printed label to let me know what company and what color it is. And then I keep them on these wire rings. I do really, really love these wire rings. They hold together nicely. But instead, I am going to use the die provided by Spellbinders. So there is a set. You have 2 layers to your set. So there's a little bit more die cutting involved in this. This one is going to create a white panel. So I did a whole bunch of die cutting off screen. That's going to create that white panel. And then it's got a hole up here so you can run your binder ring or whatever you use for it. So I did a whole bunch here. Hopefully I cut enough. I didn't count. I just kind of sat and did a bunch of die cutting. And now this piece is going to layer over the top, and it's going to leave a little white strip down here, which is going to match their color swatch names stamp set. So I think there is one on here that is not making it to the collection right now. I don't know if it's getting released later on, but where is it? I think it's like Laurel or something. Yep, Laurel, I think, is not getting released. So that one I just have to watch out for. But what you'll end up doing is you're going to die cut this from your colored cardstock, and then it's going to layer over the top. And then you can stamp your color swatch down at the bottom. So I thought I would give that a try. So this piece I don't need right now because I did do a bunch of die cutting already. I just need these. And when I was trimming out my cardstock, I tried to keep them in order. So for right now, they are still in the packaging that it comes in. I'll be switching that over to my paper storage method, but for right now, I left them in here. And you can see I already have my trimmed pieces back here. I just tucked them back in so I can save them and use them later on. But this, if I flip it over, I tried to keep them in order. That way I know what color it is. So I'm going to start with that. Actually, let's flip this over. So this will be the first color. And this color is Poppy, which I believe they already had in their color line. And some of them they do. Some of the colors I believe they kept, or maybe it's a similar shade and just a different name. So I'll have to just watch out for that when I go to do my paper organization. So this, I'm just going to line this up. And since these are nice small pieces, they are going to fit in my mini die cutting machine, which is nice because then I can put something on YouTube. I can watch some lives. I have a lot of friends that go live, or I can pop a movie on and just kind of sit here and work on my die cutting. So this is our first color. This one is Poppy, and this is how it is going to work. So there is, like, if my camera will focus, there is an etched line. There it is. And so that is where your cardstock is going to line up. So it'll be just like this, a little rough on the edges, but that's okay. It'll be just like this, and then we can stamp our name of our cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting up the rest of these reds. I have all of my cardstock pieces die cut out. I'm going to try my best to keep them in order so I know what color it is, but I do still have the cardstock packs with their actual label in there so I don't get too confused. But this is what I am going to start out with. So let's see. Oh, if I want to attach it first and then stamp. Let's try that first. Let's attach it, stamp it, see how well that works. Just going to use a little tape runner for that. Well, a lot of tape runner for that, I guess, because I don't want it to fall off. Then I'm going to try and line that up. I am not good with lining that up. I should probably put my cheaters on so I can see what I'm doing. There, I think I got it. There is that one. Looks like these are in alphabetical order, I think. M, N, O. Anybody else say the alphabet while you're looking for a letter? You could also probably just do this with an acrylic block. I probably should have just done that, to be honest. It'd probably go a lot quicker, but we'll do it for now. So it looks like the stamp is curved. Well, it is. It's not just looks like it, but it's curved to fit that area. Pick that up, and I'm going to use Versafine Clear and stamp that down. Perfect. Well, that's super cute. And I can just pull that up. So that's really fun. All right, let's work on the other one. So maybe I'll go ahead, attach the colors right away. Okay, so those are my pinks and reds. I know there are some coral colors. The coral, I feel like, kind of starts slowly dabbing into the oranges. So I will do those separately. But what'll end up happening is these can all stack together. And then that same cable ring that I was using, I will put through here. So one of these, I just know it's called a cable ring. You can probably get them on Amazon. I get mine through Simon Says Stamp. I love these because I hang these on hooks over on my wall, or I've hung them up on the side of a cart before. And these, they just don't come apart. You have to twist them. And they hold together really well. Spellbinders does also sell cable ring or book rings. So you can use these just like kind of the classic ones you would see for school, but these are just some pretty colors. So you can use these. This is just my personal favorite because mine kind of go through a lot. So I'm going to keep mine on cable rings. And so once I kind of finish going through the swatches, I'll be able to just take this off and I'll put it through there. Now I do want to show you how I do my cardstock because I'm going to do the rest of the colors off screen. And then hopefully I'll be able to come back and share a picture at the end of the video of all of the colors on the color swatch ring. But I want to show you my cardstock. So let me grab a particular color. All right, so I'm going to grab Dahlia because I know that is a color that Spellbinders has or had. Now I want to see and make sure this matches. So let's take a look at what I have here. Yeah, that matches perfectly. So thankfully I won't have to redo this one. But what I do for my cardstock, and this is something I just recently kind of revamped. So I have these landscape, I wonder if you could, I'll bring me back to full front so you might be able to see my cardstock behind me afterwards. But what I do for my cardstock is I have them in these landscape page protectors or cardstock protectors. I will link them down below in the video description along with everything else that I've been using to do my swatches. But keep in mind, these are a little different than what you have probably seen. I know a lot of people will use, gosh, I can't remember what they're called anymore, but there were some where the end, the top end, this short end had the open side. I've also had some where It's open on 2 sides. That was actually one of my last ones I did. I like these where we have 3 sides are sealed, meaning the only way I can take it out is through the top. So I like that. I also really love this file folder tab at the top. Now these are clear. This is landscape orientation. So it fits into my, I think they're the calyx unit, fits in really nicely behind me. Nothing is sliding in and out. That was one of my other problems when I had 2 sides open, was that they were getting caught on things. Cardstock was getting bent. I didn't like having it that open when I was pulling my cardstock in and out. So these keep everything nice and sealed on the sides. It's just the top. So I can kind of just pull it out a little bit and grab from inside. Again, I love that tab at the top. And what I did is I trimmed out a piece of the actual cardstock. I attached it with red line tape. I feel that is important because I've tried other tape runners, I've tried other double-sided adhesives, and nothing really seemed to hold well. So I use red line tape. You can see I have a piece of cardstock in the front and the back, and I attached it to that tab. And then I have a clear label with black lettering that says the color and the company. So I did that specifically. I do organize my cardstock by company because of the work that I do for them. So I need to keep them separated, but I always keep a separate color swatch available. So if I'm looking for different colors on kind of my own project, then I can grab whatever I want. But for color company specific, I do keep it organized by company. One thing I will say about these is that it doesn't hold a ton of cardstock. It'll hold a pack of cardstock, but you definitely would not be able to get 2 packs in there. So I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to fit in here out of this pack. So do keep that in mind. You can't fit a ton in there, but you do fit at least a pack of paper. But it is something, it's personal preference. This is what works for my paper storage system behind me, and I love the look of it. I love the tabs at the top so I can quickly see the colors, and I know what order I have the company in. So I do keep them specific that way. So kind of more muscle memory when I go to grab a color, I know what company I'm pulling from. So again, I will link that down below in my video description. Now, I went ahead, I got everything swatched, and I'm going to just quickly run through a small piece of cardstock that is 4¼ by 5½. And I also have my swatch tag next to it. So you can see all of the different colors in a little bit larger form other than the actual swatch piece. Now, there are also a few different options as far as purchasing on the website. I know there are different sampler packs available. Some of them happen to be out of stock at the time of this video, but be sure to keep an eye on the Spellbinders website for when those come back in, or you can click the notify me button. There are packs where you can get maybe like 1 sheet of each color if you just want to test it out, compare it to what is already in your stash. And I am going to have kind of a really quick sped up version of me comparing the cardstock that I already have in my stash to the new colors. And I know it's sped up, but I hope it'll still give you an idea if you are looking at, what maybe you need to fill in for colors compared to what you may already have. As far as the quality of the cardstock, it is a beautiful quality. It is nice and smooth. I think these are about 110 pound, and I haven't done any foiling on them yet or using with embossing folders, but knowing Spellbinders kind of strives or excels in quality, I'm sure that it is going to be amazing. And it's actually something that's on my to-do list for the rest of the weekend. Now, there are some colors here that I want to point out at the very end. It is going to be that fairy tale, the lavender, lilac, and then also these pinks. So or the purple pinks. There's orchid, mulberry, and this last one is violet. So those I did really want to point out, especially kind of those ones on the right hand side, because I don't think those are often seen in any cardstock collections. Now, I apologize if this seems a little bit out of order in the video. I had to come in and do the voiceover now that I got all of my color swatches done, so I apologize for that. I am going to have a full-on picture at the end of all of the swatched colors. It is so beautiful to look at. It's almost something that you could add as maybe even a decor piece in your craft room because it is really neat to look at. Now, I am just going through adding my cable ring back on there and letting those fan out for that gorgeous arrangement of color. And here is where I mentioned I'm just quickly going through my previous swatches from the cardstock line that they had and kind of comparing to what is being brought out as new. You can see some of them are maybe just a smidge different. Some of them might be just a little bit brighter or bolder. There are some colors that are not in the collection anymore. Like I think there were some really deep purples that I didn't see in the collection anymore. But of course, they filled different gaps in that I think they felt they were missing in their color line. I'm going to link everything down below in the video description and over on my blog as far as the sampler packs. I haven't decided if I'll do individual color links or not, if I'll just link to the main homepage because there's a lot of colors here, but I definitely recommend trying out a sample pack. They do have them available in 8.5 by 11 and also in 12 by 12. So be sure to head over to Spellbinders, check that out, see if there's any colors that you feel you are missing in your collection. And then again, this is the set that I'm going to be using to create this color swatches for this particular cardstock. So I will again post that picture when I am done. I want to thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if you have picked up any of the Spellbinders cardstock. And if you did, which color is your favorite? Thanks, everyone.